The overall experience with DC was so amazing from the get-go. I just, Googled barns, and even though I tend to hate something that says, oh, give us your email address, I liked what I saw so much that I was actually willing to put in an email address to get the catalog. It just seemed like the perfect way to go.
We didn't want to have to take up more of the land than we had to, and be able to build up rather than out made a lot of sense in what we were hoping to do with the land as well.
The Oakridge seemed like actually a no-brainer in some ways. We loved the design, that sort of apartment barn. I also loved the fact that there was that design capability. We'd saved the things that mattered most to us, mostly family pieces. And so I got to design around the things we knew mattered to us.
Kate had measured everything to precise proportions. What came with us from our last house was going in this house. And so things we had saved. A liquor cabinet from my parents' house that I remember from the time I was, probably shorter than the liquor cabinet. This also came from my parents' place. Kate worked out where they'd go and how much room they would take, and exactly how much wall space they would need.
The flexibility of being able to design something around how you want to live in a space cannot be beat. It kind of makes it so special that this was really built for us. I love how all of this makes you want to look up and look out. Absolutely love the beams. Scott being the first person who called back, we kind of hit it off in a way, which was really sort of fun. And we spent a lot of time on the phone talking about different ideas. Scott was a great support all the way through. And everyone back at the office was really kind when we met them. And so that was like the structure side. It was great fun all the way through. And then once DC Builders took us on too, which made us feel very special. I can't imagine how that process could have been better.
Having DC turnkey the project made perfect sense for us. We were really afraid of how we would negotiate that scary world of finding contractors and finding subs and even what all the words meant. And oh right, and there are those permit things. And then of course the woodland property burned, and we had to learn even more about caring for a burned woodland property that needed reforestation. So having somebody handle all those details for us made it possible for us to do the rest of our lives that needed to happen.
Nothing prepared us to have the property burned. We had just been here a couple of days before, and Josh was working on a bit of the foundation stuff, and we were trying to help a little bit. And he was always really good about letting us help. I'm sure we weren't always that much help, but he would let us help. And Josh is like, if you guys need a place to evacuate, you can come up here. And then later he's like, okay, we're evacuating, so maybe we're not the best place to come. I think in some ways it cemented our relationship in a way that, it was pretty devastating to come back up here and sort of see both how much had been lost, but also, the framing materials were 2 weeks out, so we didn't lose all the framing materials. And our foundation didn't crack. So we were really fortunate knowing that we had them, had Josh and the whole DC crew they had our backs. It made a huge difference. There was beautiful canopy here when we bought this property, and we feel responsible to and for this little patch of pre-forest, young forest right now, and we want to watch it grow up. And we're lucky that we have a beautiful home to live in to be able to do that. We wanted to harvest cones because a few of the trees that had survived was coning like crazy, and we were thinking, if we can grow some of those trees. And Daniel Galvin took us up in the lift so that we could, and helped us harvest cones. That's not every builder is going to take a bit of time to understand that that's an important piece of helping people recover from a devastating experience. That was a really special moment. We love our forever barn. This is home.
It's got so much of our lives in it. It has stuff from both our childhoods.
And it was built to hold the things from both our childhood.
it's housing for the lives we have now in this woodland. And it was built by folks who took it and us really seriously.
Summer was awesome to work with in terms of helping us figure out the different things we might want for finishes. The framing crew, who were great and had to deal with all sorts of stuff because of the fire and different things. And working with Josh was, oh my God, so much fun. I can't imagine how the whole experience could have been better.
The care they took of us as rookies in this whole having a home built thing was amazing.
And the really amazing thing is that care doesn't stop. You know, that it's not like, okay, hey, you're built, you're moving in tomorrow, good luck. We're washing our hands of you. You know, even a year and change later, Josh is still calling, going, everything okay? You know, it's like, they take such good care of you.
But also caring for deeper desires we didn't even know we had. There were a number of times where questions would come up, and I think our inclination would have been like, oh, well, we can make do with this. That's not where Josh would leave it. It's, well, what do you want it to look like?
Because who has a workbench that has a waterfall edge? It's like, wow.
Who knew what a waterfall edge was?
So here's one of our favorite bits of creativity. So amazing flooring, right? We love this sort of reclaimed, actually it's reclaimed agricultural fencing, which really was cool, even though it always costs more to get reclaimed agricultural fencing. But when they finished the floors, there was this ton of flooring left. And so we're looking around and going, so what would we do with that? And then Josh and I are looking over at the fireplace, and he's like, oh, well, you know, we could just run it up the fireplace. And so suddenly we have this amazing feature wall that we had never imagined that really, I think, kind of puts this room over the edge. It did, however, because the fireplace needed more space than I thought took away from bookcase space. So we were trying to figure out how to make all of that work. And then it was like, oh, well, I guess we can just put the bookcases up on something. Because of course, floor registers are always where you want to put stuff. And next thing we know, it's Josh's folks who are really amazing, finished carpentry folks, go, I think it would be better if we kind of built something around the bookcases. And so suddenly our old pine bookcases that we brought with us look like these amazing built-ins around this gorgeous feature wall. And that's part of what you get with DC, somebody who's going to work with you and work with your creative ideas and make it work and make it beautiful. How fortunate are we that I Googled barns and found DC and actually got over my hesitation to put in my email address, because can't imagine better friends, better folks, a better place to live.
Although you may want to check with DC, they might put us in the stalker category. So
thank you.
Thanks, guys, for the forever barn.
You guys have fans and friends and a plate of cookies anytime you want to come, because without you, we wouldn't have this, and we are grateful for you every single day.
Thanks.